All right, so hello everyone. It's your girl Karleena Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. And you all know what I say. My rap name is C to Z. So if you're looking for me on social media, just start typing in all the letters of the alphabet and you are probably going to find me. I don't think it's another one out there with all of the letters and all of the name, but we have a special guest with us today. And look, we came real close when it came to these names, right? Dr. Karleena is with us on this evening, and you all, of course, we are talking about Menopause March Madness. And let me tell you, it's not just about the 34 plus symptoms of menopause and different things. It's about the aspects and the transitions that our bodies go through. And what do you need from the toddler stage, right? What do you need from the prenatal stage? What is it that you need when you get to the last period? And I'm not talking about the end of life. I'm just talking about menopause, okay? So before y'all start thinking, go get your plots and all of this, I'm just talking about menopause. But in those transitions, our bodies need different things. So I know for myself, I was vitamin D deficient. And you all, when I say I'm talking about low, I'm talking about low. Okay. To the point my doctor was like, how are you functioning around here? And I'm talking about in the teens with my vitamin D. And so as an African-American woman, we've always been taught, you don't need no sunscreen. We don't want to be in the sun. We don't want to do all of the things. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm probably fatigued, okay? But Dr. Karleena, you all, she's going to introduce herself, but she has an amazing line of vitamins. And so let's get one announcement out the way. And you all know MenoCon 2022 is coming September 16th through the 17th. I keep telling you, get your tickets. You want to be in the building. You don't want to hear hearsay and around the block. You want to have your own seat so you can experience this for yourself. What is MenoCon? The Ultimate Menopause and Women's Wellness Conference. And this is for the everyday woman. There are a lot of conferences out there, but most of them are not geared directly to us. You have the scientists and the clinicians and the doctors. And if we sit in there, you all, we're probably just going to be looking like, first of all, we're probably not getting an invitation. Okay, let's be very clear, but this conference is for the everyday woman, networking, learning even more so that we can be equipped and empowered for every transition in our life. And so Dr. Karleena, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. But let me start with, because you have mad names, right? So Karleena is like Karleena, right? But let me give you my whole name. Karleena Regina Marie Tuggle-McDaniel. I don't got A to Z, but I got mad letters and hyphens.
Oh my God. Look, you don't find too many people, because I went to a doctor's one. He was like, so you have all these hyphens? Yep, all of them. Go ahead, you done got me beat. Look, y'all, we a rap duo with the hyphens, okay?
For real. Don't give me the freestyling in here. But but I go by Dr. Karleena or Dr. K. Me and my husband Darian started a vitamin company called Problk Health. And we initially started it about 2 years ago because my main job, I've been a bariatric surgeon, a weight loss surgeon now for about 12 years. And I went to Howard. I'm from New York. I've lived in Atlanta for 12 years now. So I treat our people. People look like me. And I just see all the health issues. And a lot of it, not that it can be cured with preventative care, but we can start addressing it if we practice more preventative care. So he would get annoyed that, I would be coming home every day just, like, the ER and this and that. And he was like, you're so pro-Black health. And I was like, yeah, I am. And then he was watching Shark Tank one day, and these guys had made beach towels, and like a percentage goes to like save marine life. And he was like, if they can save the fish, we can save Black people. And I was like, say less. And it just made sense to think of something where what can we promote is really about health awareness, right? So the vitamins are something that a lot of people can identify with if they're educated on and understanding the importance of it. But it's really about how do you make that first conscious health decision and then trickle that to other healthy decisions in your life. So we want it to be more of a movement about, this is one little thing, but what about your diet? What about your exercise? What about weight management? What about mental health? So we really want this to be like a springboard to just get our people to prioritize health, because we prioritize everything else, our nails, our clothes, our vacations, and we got high blood sugar and PCOS and high blood pressure. And there's a lot of cute people in caskets, weed, bundles and bundles and makeup and nails, dead. And we need to really start focusing on our health. So that's why we started the company. And like I was saying, I see a lot of every day, like I said, vitamin D deficiency. I check labs almost every day because for weight loss surgery, you have to get labs drawn all the time. So I'm looking at them. And I would say at least 60% of the patients that I see baseline are low in vitamin D. So I completely understand, kind of what you were saying. But it's just kind of a cool time. And I appreciate what you do because we need people who look like us to speak to us. And the time is now. The time there is, to wait for somebody else to come in and take the time or care enough to even tell us how to take care of ourselves is a pipe dream. So we need to be able to be our own best advocates and then each one teach one, right? So if I talk to you and you take it serious and you teach your kids, because for a lot of us, it's too late. Like we've already passed. We can try to maintain what we got, but we can't undo the hands of time. But we got kids and this should be generational. So we want the next generation and their children to really see the benefits so that us as Black people are stronger and healthier. And then 50% of our sales go towards community initiatives that are geared towards eradicating health disparities in the Black community. So it's like an individual investment in you will hopefully help the good of the group. So it's really, really a cool thing, and you can tell that I love it. Darren gets super excited.
I love it. First of all, let's just back up a little bit. The name itself, because I do believe that instead of us always being reactive, right? We will get on the medications and things once we have almost like a near-death experience. Yeah. And then even some people then won't even make the necessary changes because the thought pattern is we're all going to die from something, right? Yeah. And so, but I'm like, yeah, but high blood pressure, you ain't got to die from that, right? You don't have to die from a heart attack and different things. If we, one, have the conversations, two, I love you all's initiative of where you're even giving back. Right? Like that is huge in itself to say, yes, this is our business, but in the midst of us giving this education, empowering our own people to say, look, if we invest, because, these bundles and stuff for a lot of people, these investments, when I hear some of the prices, I'm like,
yes, ma'am.
But then you won't see us, we won't go to the boot camps and the workouts and different things. And my husband's a personal trainer, and the vast majority of his clients, they are not us. And I'm just like,
yeah, I know.
What in the world?
I know. And there's a whole nother, we can talk offline, but there's a book that I read that goes into how Black women are the least healthy when you talk about, let's just say Black or white. Obviously, there's more races, but compared to white women, white men, and even Black men for a number of reasons. But one, we worry about everybody else before we worry about ourselves, right? So there's this cool statement that we have so much on our plate, we can't worry about what's on our plate, which is true. People, they got multiple jobs, they got the kids, who knows if the dad is around, maybe the dad is around, but he's busy, so we're too busy on everybody else. Then hair is a real thing in terms of, I don't want to sweat it out, I don't want to do this, but we have to somehow shift the paradigm. You cute, boo, but you cute with high cholesterol, you're cute with diabetes, your inside should match your outside, and we have to figure out, maybe somebody will invent some hair or some treatment that it won't make it go awry after you done paid a lot of money for it, but it's hindering us, and it's so crazy to think, white people will be like, oh my God, I'm not going to work out because of my hair. Not to say that that's something that we should compare, but it's something they don't worry about, but it's something that's holding us back in a lot of respects. It's really, really wild.
It's right. When you think of it, even just listening to someone else say it out loud, it's just like, what? So are you willing to really risk your health or even be willing to be on maintenance medications for years? And I've seen it in my own family line and different things where they find taking blood pressure pills, cholesterol pills, and they still want to eat pig feet. And I'm like, bruh, are you kidding me right now? And I'm like, I took my medicine. And I'm just like, What?
Yeah.
It is crazy. And I love what you said, though, Dr. Karleena, where we can't undo a lot of the things that we have already done. Now we can maintain and we can create better habits and better lifestyle and healthier living that in turn could reverse some things. But for that next generation where we want them to do and be better, a lot of times we want them to be better financially. We want them to be better career-wise. And I tell my children, I want you to be better for your whole entire well-being. Like, I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're feeling. I want you to know that you can express this because, like you said, the mental health aspect is real too. And so when we even look in our own communities, in our own culture, y'all, we can't keep using all of the excuses of why we can't do A, B, C, and D, such as work out, eat healthier. And no, you all, we know it's not everybody. However, it's a vast majority.
It's still too many.
Way too many.
But yeah, like if we don't do it for ourselves, who will do it, And like I said, dealing with weight management, a lot of it is expectations management. It's like, okay, you're here. Great. We're not here to judge you, to shame you, but you have to acknowledge your responsibility of why we're having this conversation in the first place. I'm here to help you, but I can't help something you can't even acknowledge that you have a problem with. Wow. Then once we figure that out, and I saw a really cool thing on Instagram. It's like most people don't need advice because most people know what they need to do. They need discipline, you know, and that's the part that I can't like push my soul into yours and make you do it. We're not robots. So the thing is like, if be honest and say, I got to work on my consistency. I got to work on, the persistency of it. I have to be less impatient because you wake up one day and say, I'm going to do better. And then in a week, when you're not a whole new person, it didn't work. It ain't going to happen for me. You didn't even do everything you're supposed to do. And that's no time to undo years of like damage, Right. So then you just get frustrated,
and then you just don't do it at all. Then you don't do it at all. And you never, it's like some people say, oh, I fell off and then I get back on. But there's so many people that fall off and then they're just like, you know what, screw this. If I'm gonna be overweight and I'm gonna be unhealthy, this is, and I've even heard people say, you know what, this must be the life that God has designed for me. And I'm like, wow, it's not. It's not. Like, let's not put Jesus in the stuff you want to put him on.
Let's not do that, And it's like, oh, the diet didn't work. No, you went back to doing the things that don't work, Yeah. Mea culpa. What am I doing to like contribute to the situation? It's not that it means that, you're destined to be there, but you got to be honest with yourself. You got to put in more work. You got to be more consistent. You have to figure out where are you at the center of your universe? You're the MVP of this one life. I'm not, it's you. And if you don't do it, it won't happen. We can sit here and talk all day, but I can't, if I can't, there's nothing I can say to you that's going to go home with you and make you do it if you don't want to do it for you. And that's all facets, your relationships, your work ethic, everything is like, we have to be more self-driven. You can't wait for somebody else to pick, okay, let's get up, let's walk, let's go grocery shopping, let me cook. Like some people have that support, but most don't.
Right. And even with that support, you use the word support. It's great to have support systems. But like I said, I don't go to school for my kids. I'm not the teacher's not going to, I can't go in there and say, hey, I'm going to take the test for my son today. Right. And they're going to be looking like, ma'am, no, you're not. And how did you even get past here in the first place? Well, I decided that he's going to stay home and I'm going to go ahead and take the test. Psych, ma'am, you can go home. Do we need to escort you out? Like, how do you want to go home? Right. And so when we think of those things, I think back in my childhood, I don't remember going down the vitamin aisle or anything that often. Right. It was like we were saying earlier, I had the little hard Flintstones before they came out with all these gummies and stuff. Right. And it still wasn't made as a habit because it's like once you were trained to brush your teeth, right, as a kid. It became a habit. It became part of your lifestyle. So it was even still, I remember as a kid, it was still hit or miss with the little Flintstone vitamin. And so even with adults now, a lot of adults don't remember, they are not taking supplements or vitamins, or if they do have some, they don't even remember to take them. And I'm like, well, do what you need to do so that you can remember until you make it a part of your lifestyle. So let's talk about so are your vitamins primarily for adults, or do you all have everything for everyone in your family? Let's just talk about some of the products you all do have.
Sure. So we have a little bit of something for everyone. We have only one child vitamin. It's called Young Royalty, and it's a multivitamin that's for kids. But the difference between a child, we're talking about just basic multivitamin needs, right? And I'll get into more what that means. But let's just say basic, nothing really wrong with you. The difference between what a child needs and what an adult needs, it's less for a child because they're smaller. So, but there's some grown 13, 14, 15-year-olds. So, like Baba, like if you really like talking about start having your own cell phone, more than likely you probably need an adult vitamin. Like I don't know if it's the hormones in the food, I don't know what it is, but these kids look grown. They are grown.
Look, Dr. Karleena, they look older than us. Okay.
Oh, for real. So once you hit around 14, assuming that you're an average 14-year-old size, you can probably transition to an adult vitamin. Okay. But we only have at the current time one multivitamin that's geared towards kids, but that's like little people. Okay. But we have multivitamins. We have both gummies and we have tablets. And the reason why a lot of them are gummies is because, like you said, the number one reason why people don't take vitamins. What do you think it is?
The size of the pill, they can't swallow it.
Okay. What else? They don't taste good.
They don't taste good.
It hurts my stomach.
Yeah. I can't get it. It's stuck.
Exactly. On, right? And what I've learned, both in my own life, both in my patients, both in like what I see in TV, we are people of, if it's not pleasurable, we ain't doing it. If it don't smell good, taste good, feel good, turn into lotion. Like if you don't do something that just zhuzhes me all the way, I ain't listening to it. Right. So we have to start with taste, because we have to break that barrier of like, oh, because they don't taste good, I'm not going to do it. Right. And so a lot of our stuff are gummies, but more, like I said, for the deliverability, if that's a word. But we got to get in your system for it to work, Right. Now, you got some people who are like, oh, well, there's sugar in it. There's not that much sugar in it, especially when you drink 2 Cokes a day and you had 4 donuts and you had a piece of pizza and everything else. So I don't want to hear about 4 grams of carbs when you've had 200 with everything else that you've had today. But for people who are more conscious of that, you may have to do a tablet, but you can't have everything. You know what I mean? So the gummy kind of angle is like for people who was doing nothing. So let me get you doing something first. Now, if you advance, say, you know what, I don't want the extra sugar, that's fine. We do have tablets. We do have capsules. So we have, besides the multivitamins, and that goes from like a basic multivitamin to an advanced, you cannot get a whole bunch of ingredients in gummies all the time. So the caplets really have a lot more if you're really into like more of the, not high dose, but more ingredients to get more of like all the bells and whistles. But we have vitamin D. So like I said, vitamin D is such a big thing in our community. We have apple cider vinegar, which appetite suppressant. Some people said it helps with reflux, but it's better than Goli in my opinion. I know I'm biased, but you can ask a lot of people. We have System Reboot, which is like a colon cleanse. So some people just need to like reset their life, start on track. We have probiotics, again, gut health, and we can talk about that in relation to vitamins and absorption. We have Super Green tablet. We have melatonin for sleep. We have hair, skin, and nails, both gummies and capsules. What am I missing? We have, I think we're up to like 16 different ones.
But I'm glad you even explained, because a lot of times we don't even know the difference when it comes to the gummy and the tablets, because so many gummies are out now on the market that a lot of people, so I'm glad you even took time to explain that look, these are some nutritional values in the differences with it, because I'm just like, right, That makes a lot of sense though, for those who are a little more sugar conscious and different things. But I'm glad you said that too. Don't complain about that small amount of sugar.
They be the first ones.
When you just had that iced honey bun that you heated up in the microwave, and that one honey bun like 700 calories.
Yeah, and you were about 4 grams, and it's all of 50 grams in that honey bun, and you were about, in 2 gummies, it's a total of 4 grams. Okay, you got to pick and choose your battle, but that's how we think. You know, that's we totally just get off the mark on what's important, and we like scapegoat and excuse to like fit some weird narrative why I feel self-righteous enough to not do something, you know?
Right.
But that's it's for everybody. Everybody can find something that will fit their needs.
Wow. Right. Because as I was listening to you, from the probiotics to weight management and different things, those are some of the main concerns with women, even in menopause, where that transition, a lot of us are not even, we're not mentally prepared for that transition. We're definitely, most of us are not physically prepared for that transition, with just some of the lifestyle changes, and already taking some of those, like, you don't have to be a menopausal woman to start taking these supplements that's in long term are going to help you even through that transition with your bones, with your brain fog, all of these different things that may start occurring. So, and weight is definitely one of it's up here. Weight and sleep.
Yes.
The stress levels and no sleep and all of these different things. And so, and some with the stomach issues as well. So when I heard probiotics, I was like, yeah, I remember going through all these stomach issues, and still didn't really even come up with a resolution after all those gastric doctors I was seeing.
Yeah, stomach, it can be tricky. It can be really tricky because it's so vague, you know? It's like, where do you even begin to tackle it when what we are, not what we're exposed to, but what we're conditioned to eating isn't the best for us. Even sometimes when you try your hardest, right? So if we were to go back, let's say 100 years ago, our ingredients, our foods were more whole food sources, less preservatives, less additives, less weird stuff that our bodies are not meant to have. But in 2022, how many options do you got? Unless you're really going to go off the grid and you have the resources and the time to really do that. Any and everything that we eat and drink on a regular basis, even if it looks healthy, probably isn't the best for how our bodies are meant to process. Because in an ideal world, I would say, you know what, no one should have vitamins. We should get everything through our diet. Now, you find me 2 people who probably get everything they need a day to have all their vitamin levels good, just based off of what they eat. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible, which is sad, but we have to, you know, we have to live in the time that we're in. We can't be like, oh, well, I'm not gonna. No, okay, well, you can do something about. You can supplement. You know, if you can't get, it's about filling in the gaps. But you have to be first informed that you have gaps. You know, you can't just live in this like, oh, I had no idea. I feel good, because we're gonna wait till it's falling off, it's bleeding, your legs don't work, your hair falling out, before you see that you have a laundry list of things that if you had even just been maintaining, you know, you probably could have slowed it down. Nothing, you know, not everything is like, oh, you're never gonna get it. But how do you support your body? We are machines at the end of the day. Machines, what your car needs maintenance, right? It needs oil, it needs your rotation, the tires rotating. You need your brakes checked, you need the oil, the coolant, you need all type of stuff done. If you think your body doesn't work in a similar way, where all the little vitamins like help the different processes of your body work, you know? So your eyes need certain things to happen to work. Your heart needs certain things. And vitamins, A, B, C, D, your B vitamins, all of that on a chemical or molecular level help the gears to move, you know? So if you ran out of oil and your gears stop shifting, please understand it's going to be some stuff that stop moving as a consequence of that.
I love that, because that even correlates to even the detox, because a lot of us have not been taught how to detox, or people are doing these hit and miss celebrity things, gigs and gimmicks they see on YouTube or wherever they get their news and information from, and not realizing that a detox is good for us. And that's mentally too, right? A lot of times we don't detox mentally. We have years and years of labels, lies, learned behaviors, all of these things just stacked up. And when we even think about that naturally, that's in the inside too. We have years and years of impacted everything going on the inside of us, and we're just like, I'm good.
So I'm going to take what you just said and raise you a notch, right? I agree. A lot of people don't understand, one, the importance of detox, like I said, in all facets, mentally, physically, or how to do it. But what people tend to forget is a detox is only worth doing or beneficial if after you're cleansed, you put the right stuff in. If you're going to just poop it out and cleanse it out, but you're going to go back to putting the same trash in, what is the point?
For them to keep repeating it and over and then,
like you didn't change anything, right? Nope. So you want to get a clean slate. After you have a clean slate, then you start putting the good stuff in. But if you're just gonna put garbage in, it was just like, okay, you're cleansed for a moment, and now you back into toxin up. You know, it's
look, and they feel good about that one moment too. And I'm not saying
so short-sighted. Feel good about next week, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Not like this like what I'm gonna do in 30 minutes.
Right. I love that. And it's like, we have to look the future. I was getting ready to say long term. Like if we make lifestyle changes and like you said, introducing our kids so that this is their lifestyle. So this is what they're going to automatically think to do with their kids and generations to come, because that's how they were trained. Think back on how we watched our grandmothers and different ones cook, right? It wasn't that their way was the only way to do it, but if you saw them put lard, why? That's what my grandma did, right? So let me add this stuff in there too. Now I ain't never did that because I always just looked disgusting to me. Like the chitlins and all these different things. It just all, I am one of those texture and smell people, and I'm just like, that don't smell right. Like, why y'all? Why? So I love that. And it's sometimes just the small changes that we do, like you said, consistently.
Consistently. And since you were talking about greens, a lot of our brands is about identifying, connecting with us, almost like a FUBU for us bias mentality. So we have a lot of names that resonate. And our super green is called Not Your Mama's Greens for that reason. Because it's like, it's greens, but it ain't, what Big Mama and Granny and all Auntie Fufu, it's like, it's healthy, but it's different. It's greens, but it's not quite what we've been doing. Like how do we be who we are as a people? We don't want to lose our essence, but how do we just like jazz it up to be like a healthier version of ourselves?
And I love that because that screams relatability. Like, you know what? They are really for us. We are pro-Black, okay? Like literally. And the name itself just resonates with me because being proactive about our health and using your platform and using your voice and your products to say, not only are you going to be helping you, but then you're going to be helping someone else, because now we're giving back to the communities where people are saying, hey, maybe they don't have access to certain things, because pricing is another thing that you hear quite often of why I don't buy certain things, or it can be, that is very true for some people, but I say we got to prioritize. We only have this one body, and once you go, it's nothing in between that.
Exactly, one and done. Unless you know somebody else who came back, that's
a wrap. It's a wrap. My baby boy say, and you're done. So, and if we don't have to be done before our time with things that we can, like you said, we can maintain and help ourselves, and meaning being a participant in your own health. Because a lot of times people do get dependent upon the doctors, or even when, I'm sure you've seen it with patients who've had the surgery. After all of that. I've seen it too. One lady, when she told me she had a surgery, I was just like, so you went through all of that just to revert back?
And
she was like, yeah. And I was like, wow. Okay.
Well, we could do a whole talk about why that happens, how it happens, but it goes back to, my initial thing, it is your habits. Okay. The fact that you can lose weight without surgery means that you don't have to have surgery. The fact that I've seen people who've had the surgery regain some to all the weight means that the surgery isn't foolproof. So when you're doing well, you're probably doing the right things. When you're not doing as well, you shifted to the things that never work. They're not gonna now work because you had surgery. They never work. They ain't gonna work tomorrow. They ain't gonna work 10 years from now. Right. But you have to like be like honest with yourself and say that. Now, if you're happy with it, that's cool. You know, I'm not here to judge your happiness, but a lot of people are asking for help, and it's like, okay, I'm here to help you, but I can only help you see what you're doing wrong, but you got to do it.
Right.
You know, that's kind of where the conversation is. Like, is you ready to do it or aren't you? You know,
you ready,
like
son? You ready, son, or you not? Like
exactly. You know, like because I don't got time. Like I don't got kids. I don't want kids. God bless you. So to like when I'm talking to grown people who it's like I'm having the same conversation, I'm just like this is why I don't have kids, because I feel like
I gotta keep repeating myself.
I'm missing. And like I said, I understand that it's not easy. Right. I fully understand that. I understand that some people need more help than others, but I don't get with the mentality of it's not working, fix it. It's not working, give me something different to do. It's no. It's not that none of it is working. You gotta stick with it. Like anything, you know, nothing worth having is gonna come easy. And if you struggle with it now, you're probably gonna struggle with it for the rest of your life, even if you have surgery. We're just giving you the tools to make it easier to fight the battle, you know?
Wow.
Same thing with like vitamins. It's like, you know, it's not easy to take care of yourselves. The way that physics works is things naturally want to break down. That is the path of least resistance. It takes effort and energy to keep yourself together, you know? So it's going to take work. It's going to take intention. It's going to take mindful decision-making to keep yourself in order. There's no lazy way to this. Not at all. Feeling good is work.
Sure is.
And my grandma said, get old ain't for sissies. You know what I mean? So if you trying to be here for a long time, dig your heels in. But
if you want to live a healthy life, like you said, you have to be intentional to say, I want to live a healthy life for whatever your reasons are. Right? Mm-hmm. Everyone have their own reasons. But once you really make that conscious decision, it's like I'm not doing it just to have a six pack, right? Mm-hmm. I'm doing it because look, I'm gonna be sexy with my clothes on, off, whatever, jogging pants, a mini skirt, whatever I fit at 65, whatever that looks like. But you want to be sexy inside and outside. Like
exactly. What is your why?
Thank you. Because it's easy to dress this up, right? Mm-hmm. Right. It's easy to dress this. So Dr. Karleena, let everyone know, you all, just from the initiative Problk Health and their vitamins and everything. Because look, I'm going to go online and order me some, because I've never had the apple cider gummies. And I've looked at the one that you named, and I was just like, okay, like, I'm a researcher, right? My background is in science, so I just research, and I'm like, nah, I don't know if I would get those. Then I'm like, but I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna order me some, because I don't need something just suppressed, but to couple with me working out and different things, because I have had some weight gain. And I was just like, maybe this has got to go. But I'm gonna do the work. Yeah. And I know where my inconsistencies are. Okay. I'm well aware of my own inconsistencies. But I'm being more intentional. Okay. So
and that's all we can ask, you know, baby steps.
Yes. So let everyone know how they can get products and different things, your website information to connect with your company.
Sure. So our website is Problk Health, PROBLK Health.com. Our Instagram is Problk_Health. And our Facebook is no underscore, just Problk Health. And we're on there. Our Twitter is a little dead right now, but we're getting that together. We plan on getting some new content, you know, because like I said, we're really trying to push the education piece. Now that we're launched and like that part is going well, we really want to do what our mission is, which is the education. Because that to me, you know, teach a man, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Like how can we feed you guys so that you can like pass it on and do other things for yourself that really matter, you know, that are really gonna hopefully change your life for the better, to optimize your dopeness, you know. Like we too ill with it to be ill, you know what I mean? To like not be feeling good. Like we're
like our culture, I don't think people sometimes realize like it's an honor to be like Black. Like I embrace it. Our culture is really dope. And it's just like, y'all, let's not negate the health portion. Right. So I love the education portion of saying, you know what, do what it is that you need to do for your health just as much as you want to do for the culture. Our health is part of our culture, and we can change that from generation to generation, whether that's in a rap song, whether that's on the stage, whether that's on the TV, whatever it is. We are pro-Black, but we're saying we're pro-Black for our health so that we can be healthy from the inside out. Like, keep getting your bundles if you want to get your bundles, right? Exactly. Keep doing all of those things. But then when you go to the doctor and your blood pressure is good too, and you're not diagnosed as a diabetic, that's amazing too, right? Because you don't have to be, even if you're saying, oh, it's hereditary. Just because it's hereditary, it does not have to be inherited by you.
It doesn't. A lot of it is preventable. So that doesn't have to be your fate, you know? But you have to be like vigilant. You know, you got to get it before it happens. If you wait, it's a much different conversation. So let's stop it before it happens.
Let's be pro-Black. Let's be
pro-Black.
Right. Let's not be reactive, but let's be proactive when it comes to our mental, emotional, our health, and well-being all together. And it's that saying you need to get you some supplements, you need to get you some vitamins, then you all want to make sure you connect with Pro-Black Health and get your supplements, get your vitamins, and take them. Okay. And take them. I don't care.
But the gum is telling you, people are like, oh, they taste so good. Everyone loves the taste. They're like, oh, I have to stop myself. It is not candy. These are vitamins. It's very difficult to overdose. But like I said, we kind of took that obstacle out about taste, you know? So like I said, you know, there aren't a lot of excuses why you can't do something, you know, start somewhere. So I think, you know, we really made it very accessible to get you guys on the right track.
I love it. So Dr. Karleena, I want to say thank you. Look, you all, this is like my sister now, because look, this is the closest I've ever seen someone have our names like this close. And I'm like, okay, I like her already, right? But congratulations to you all with your launch and everything, and the amazing things that you all are doing, changing lives, even in the community, even through your educational pieces on and your content on social media, and just saying we are pro-Black, and we don't have to be unhealthy as a culture, and we don't have to change our culture. We just got to make some adjustments, right? Exactly. So let's make the necessary adjustments so that we can keep being pro-Black, so we can keep living in all of our Blackness, right? And enjoying it and passing it from generation to generation. So thank you so much for your time. Look, I appreciate you. You don't.
I appreciate you, because I mean, if I could do this all day. I love education. So thank you. You made a hard day at work enjoyable to be able to talk to you. This is amazing.
Amazing. So you all, until the next time, you already know it's C to Z, Karleena Katrina Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. And Dr. Karleena, go ahead and spit your whole name out too. Yes, all of that.
Dr. Karleena Regina Marie Tuggle-McDaniel.
Y'all heard it. Like a catwalk. But if you didn't catch that, Dr. K, right? So you
Dr. K, make it easy
with them on social media, see all the amazing things they're doing, and eat up that content so that you can get your health in check. So until the next time, remember, when you change your perspective,